Hi guys, so in this video, our topic is all about calculator techniques. So ang calculator technique kasi guys is very useful in order for us to save time in solving problems, especially in the board examination. So lahat lang muna tayo guys, calculator. So wala muna tayong mga written solution. So for the first problem we have here, so find the value of x in the equation. You have here x plus 1 all over 3 plus 2x all over 4 equals 47 minus x. So first step guys is i-input muna natin yung equation. So this calculator technique is your shift solve. So you have here input natin, so that is alpha. So x, so we have plus 1 all over, you have 3, so plus, so 2 alpha x all over, you have here 4, so alpha, then CALC, so that is equals, so 47 minus alpha x. After you input the equation, you need to press shift and CALC. Then, just press equals. So the value for x is 25.45. So that is the shift solve function. So it allows you to solve values of variables, so one equation, one unknown, directly. So for the second problem, find the value of x. So we have here 3 raised to x times 5 raised to x plus 1 equals 6 raised to x plus 2. So you just input again the expression. So that is 3 raised to, so you have alpha x, so times parenthesis, so 5 raised to, so alpha x plus 1, so parenthesis, so alpha equals, so alpha, that is CALC, then 6 raised to, so alpha x plus 2. So shift solve. So this time guys, pag nag-shift solve tayo, usually matagal siya. So in order for the calculator to solve it lesser time, you need to input a limit. So kailangan natin guys ng limit para hindi mahirapan mag-solve yung calculator natin. So yung limit is nakabase sa choices. Kasi yung limit natin guys, yun ang mga values na i-try ng calculator natin. So ibig sabihin, kung mas malaki yung limit mo, mas maraming values of x yung itatry niya. So matatagalan yung calculator. So base tayo sa choices. So sa choices, you have here 2.46 as your highest choice. You need to input here, let's say 2.5 as a limit. Then we solve for x. So the value for x is 2.1544. So that is letter A. We have here the quadratic equation. So 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. So you have here mode. So that is equation. So 5. So after pressing that, makita natin here that is quadratic. So yung number 3. So yung number 3 natin guys. Yung number 3 sa quadratic, so yung placing ng ating constant is before the equal sign. So importante guys yung placing niya. Kasi here, yung dalawa, so kung mapansin natin yung constant niya is nasa labas ng equal sign. So here, nasa loob siya. So nasa left of the equal sign. So input natin guys, so 3. So after pressing that, quadratic, so input natin yung mga coefficients of our variables. So for 2x squared, so that is 2. So for x, that is negative 3. Then for the constant, that is negative 5. So equals lang. So for x, 1, we have 5 halves. For the other root, we have negative 1. So that is letter B. In this next problem, guys, we are required to find x in this 3 equation, 3 unknown problem. So we have here 2x minus y plus z equals 6. So x minus 3y minus 2z equals 13. And 2x minus 3y minus 3z equals 16. So here guys, so mode equation, so 5. Then input natin. So here yung 3 equations, 3 unknown natin is using, we have here number 2. So yung placing natin ng constant is after the equal sign, so 2. So ilagay natin yung mga coefficients niya. So for the first equation, you have here for x, that is 2. So for y, that is negative 1 equals. Then for z, that is 1. Then for the constant, so that is 6. So second equation, you have here 1, negative 3. negative 2, 13. Then, for the third equation, you have 2. Coefficient tayo guys, negative 3. Negative 3. And you have here 16. Then, you just press equals. So, x equals 2. So, that is letter B. So, ganun lang kadali guys ang pag-solve using our calculator. So, in this next problem guys, find the value of x and y. So, you have two equations, two unknowns. So, 3x minus y equals 6 and 9x minus y equals 12. So, same process guys. So, mode, you have here equation. So, 5. So, two equations, two unknowns. So, that is 1. So, 1. Then, input natin yung coefficient. So, for the first equation, you have 3, negative 1, and 6. For the second, you have 9, negative 1, and 12. So, equals. So, for x, you have 1, and for y, you have negative 3. So, that is letter A. So, next problem tayo guys. You have here, find the 30th term of an arithmetic progression for 710. So, arithmetic progression meaning we have common difference. So, for progression problems, the calculator technique is found in mode. We have here stats. So, 3. So, after pressing that, makita natin yung linear natin or for arithmetic progression. So, that is 2. Then, input natin. So, yung x, dito is the position. So, yung position or yung kung pang ilang term siya. So, dito nakita natin yung first term, you have your second term, and third term yung given. So, it's okay lang guys kung dalawa lang yung ilalagay natin. So, minimum of 2 data. So, first term, we have 4. So, second term, we have 7. Then, third term, we have 10. Then, okay na yung data natin. So, first term is 4. Second term is 7. Third term is 10. So, you can also input just 2 values. So, minimum of 2 values in solving for arithmetic progression or progression problems. Then, you press AC here. Then, punta tayo ng shift stat. So, 1. Shift 1. Then, after pressing shift 1, let's go to, we have here, regression. So, that is 5. Then, ang hinahanap natin guys is yung nasa y. So, yung y natin is the term. We are finding the term. So, yung y hat dito, yung 5. Then, sabi sa problem, what is the 30th? So, ilalagay lang natin sa katabi niya, yung 30. So, equals. The 30th term of the arithmetic progression is 91. So, that is letter A. So, next problem guys, we have here, find the 22nd term in the arithmetic progression if the 4th term is 8 and the 10th term is 29. So, balik tayo guys sa mode stat. So, for arithmetic progression, that is number 2. So, input natin guys, yung 22nd term, ang hinahanap natin. So, input natin guys, yung 4th term. So, 4. 4th term is, you have 8. So, the 10th term, so 10 is 29. So, x is the position and y is the value. Then, you press AC. After pressing AC, you have here shift, then stat. So, 1. Then, regression tayo. After pressing regression, hinahanap natin is 22nd term. So, ang term yung hinahanap, so that is number 5. So, y. So, ilagay natin sa katabi niya, so 22. So, that is equal to 71. So, that is our 22nd value of this arithmetic progression. So, next problem guys, you have here, find the sum. So, sum of arithmetic progression. So, find the sum of odd numbers from 1 to 61. So, first, hanapin muna natin guys kung pang ilang term yung 61. So, mode again. So, mode stat. So, 3. Arithmetic progression. So, that is 2. Then, we input those values. So, first term, so that is 1. So, odd number kasi. Then, second term, yung second odd number is, so positive tayo, that is 3. Then, okay na yung data natin, guys. Then, press AC. After pressing AC, hanapin natin kung pang ilang term yung 61. So, press shift and stat. So, regression. So, that is 5. Bago natin mahanap yung sum, we need to find what is the position of 61 or kung pang ilang term siya. We have here 4. So, that is the position. So, 4. So, we input here. So, 61. So, 61 is a 31st term. So, okay na yun. So, nakuha na natin yung data. Then, input this. So, for sum, so, press natin yung summation here. So, shift, summation. So, shift logarithm yun. Then, after pressing that, input natin yung, so, alpha x. Then, yung y hat. So, shift, regression. So, shift stat tayo. Shift stat, regression. Then, yung number 5. So, y hat. Then, lagay tayo ng comma. Then, we are adding from the first term to yung nakuha natin kanina, for 61, that is the 31st term. Then, lagyan natin ng parenthesis, then equals. So, the sum is 961. So, that is our sum of the arithmetic progression. So, nakadepende guys dito sa expression na to. So, summation x, y hat, first term, or hanggang kung anong term yung ina-add natin. So, in this case, first term is 1, and yung 31st term is 61. So, we are adding the odd numbers from 1 to 61. So, if the third term of a geometric progression is 20, and the sixth term is 160, what is the first term? So, for geometric progression, guys, yung gagamitin natin na mode is mode stat pa rin. So, mode stat, so 3. Then, mag-iiba tayo dito guys. So, number 6 for geometric progression. So, 6. Then, same process. X is the position, Y is the term. So, ang given natin here, third term is 20. Then, yung sixth term is, you have here, 160. So, equal. So, kompleto na yung data natin. So, AC. They're pressing AC. You have your shift stat. Then, regression tayo. So, 5. Hinahanap natin is the term. So, that is y. So, y hat. So, 5. Kaya ang term na hinahanap natin is the first term. So, lagay ka ng 1 sa katabi ng y hat. So, the first term is 5. So, that is letter A. So, next problem guys, find the sum of the first 10 terms of the geometric progression 2, 4, 8, 16. So here guys, yung expression natin, parehas lang kanina sa summation of arithmetic progression. So you have here mode, stat, so 3. Then, progression tayo, so this is geometric, so number 6. Then, input natin. So yung first term is 2. Second term is 4. Okay na yun, minimum of 2 datas. So you have here AC, then, shift, stat. So, regression tayo guys. So, that is y hat. So, here, yung ilalagay natin is summation. So, sum ito. So, shift, that is logarithm. Summation of, so dito nakalagay. So, you have here x, then, comma. So, shift, comma tayo. Then, first 10 term. So, we have here from first term to 10th term. So, parenthesis, then, equals. So, that is 2046. So, that is our sum of this geometric progression. So, next problem guys, we have here, evaluate the square root of negative 11 times square root of negative 5. So, we all know na pag in-input natin siya directly into calculator, is magmamat error yung calcu natin. So, lalagyan natin siya ng complex. So, this is advanced math, so complex number. So, mode, complex tayo. So, 2. So, pwede na tayo mag-input ng expression wherein may negative sa loob ng square root sign. So, square root of negative 11. So, times the square root of negative 5. So, that is equal to, so, negative the square root of 55. So, that is letter C. Evaluate the product of 6 minus 9i and 12 plus 7i. So, here guys, naka-complex na. So, okay na yun. So, mode, of course, naka-complex. Then, input natin yung complex number. So, 6 minus 9. So, for I, use this. So, shift, ENG. Then, parenthesis. Of course, you have here 12 plus 7. We have here I. Then, equals natin. You have this. The product is 135 minus 66i. So, in this next problem, guys, we have find the value of the quantity 1 plus I raised to 6. Ito guys, kung i-try natin here, 1 plus, so naka-complex na siya. Of course, make sure na complex. So, complex number to 1 plus I, quantity, raised to 6. So, pag in-equals natin yun, of course, math error siya. So, i-breakdown natin siya into 2 expressions. So, ang minimum kasi guys, na hindi mag-math error to, is I raised to 3, I cube. So, 3 lang dapat. Then, for I raised to 6, so 1 plus, factor natin siya. So, this is raised to 3 din. So, equals. So, that is negative 8i. So, next guys, we have here the complex expression. So, polar to rectangular form. Naka-computation dapat tayo guys. So, mode, computation. Then, input natin yung complex number. So, polar form niya is i-convert natin to rectangular. So, we have here rectangular. So, that is shift. So, this is minus. So, rectangular. Ilagay lang natin yung mga values yan. So, 4, comma. So, make sure na kung naka-degrees ito guys. So, degrees yung problem. Make sure na naka-degrees din doon. So, D. So, kung naka-radian, so, shift, mode, radian. So, in here, naka-degree lang siya. So, 3. So, make sure of that. Take note of that because so you might be careless on that part. You have here 120. So, equals lang. Ito na yung rectangular coordinates niya. So, negative 2. So, plus 3.46i. So, that is approximately letter C. So, negative 2 plus 3.5i. So, this is the real part. This is the imaginary part. So, in this next problem, guys, this is limit. So, find the limit. So, this is calculus na, guys. So, find the limit of x squared minus 16 all over x minus 4 as x approaches 4. So, yung calculator technique natin, guys, is using CALC. So, input natin yung expression. So, that is alpha x squared minus, so 16 all over, we have here alpha x minus 4. So, for limit, you must press CALC. Then, tingnan natin guys yung approaching value niya. So, 4. So, maglagay ka, kasi pag 4 ang dinagay mo, automatic, syntax error yan. So, math error. So, maglalagay tayo ng, so CALC, ng value that is closest to 4. So, it's either 3.999 or 4.111. So, maraming 9. So, you have here 8. So, that is limit. Next problem, guys, we have here, find the limit of x squared minus 4 all over x minus 2. So, input natin yung expression. So, alpha x squared minus 4 all over alpha x minus 2. So, CALC. Then, what is x natin? So, approaching value is 2. Input a value that is closest to 2. So, 1.999. So, that is 4. So, 4 is the limit. Let's try this. So, what is the limit of 1 minus cosine x all over x squared as x approaches 0? Give your input natin guys. So, 1 minus, so that is cosine alpha x all over alpha x squared. So, make sure, if you are dealing with trigonometric, make sure that your calculator is in radian mode. So, shift mode, radian tayo. So, 4. Then, you can start doing the calculator technique. So, as x approaches 0, so lagay ka ng value that is closest to 0. Let's say 0. So, CALC, say 0.001. So, that is approximately equal to 0.5. Evaluate the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. So, this is a 3 by 3 matrix, guys. We have here 3 rows. So, yung ating row, guys, is your horizontal here. And yung vertical natin is the column. So, m by n. So, kung m by n siya, guys, in calculator, so this is your row. And this is your column. So, punta tayo, guys, sa ating calculator. So, yung gamit kong calculator, guys, is Casio. This is Casio 570 ES Plus, or you can also use your 911 ES Plus. But yung 911 ES Plus, guys, is not allowed in the board exam. But for now, in your academe, nasa academe ka pa guys, you can also use this calculator 911 ES. So, pag nag-calculator technique tayo guys, make sure na ang calculator natin is naka-clear. So, shift, we have here 9 and 3. So, clear all. Para wala siyang data. So, malinis yung calculator natin. Then, punta tayo ng mode. We have here matrix. So number 6. Then after that, yeah, you can choose whatever here. So let's say matrix A, so 1. Then input natin, ilang ba yung size ng ating matrix? So 3 by 3, so 1. Then input natin lahat ng data. So you have here 1 and 2, 3. And input natin lahat. You have here negative 2. You have here negative 1, negative 2, 3, 1, and 4. So input lang natin lahat ng data. Then check natin kung tama lahat. If tama na lahat guys, we can press AC here. So AC. So after pressing AC guys, punta tayo ng shift. Then matrix tayo 4. Then punta tayo ng determinant. So you have here determinant number 7. So 7. Then input natin guys yung matrix. So shift, matrix, then matrix A. So 3. Then equals lang natin. We have here, ang answer natin here is 5. So ang answer natin here guys is 5. So the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix is actually equal to 5. So let's solve our next problem. So here guys, ang problem natin is a 4 by 4 matrix. So yung gagawin natin dito guys is just your pivotal method but in a calculator technique way. So kung ma-remember natin guys, in our pivotal method, yung first step natin is to actually pick a pivot position. So yung pivot position natin guys is dapat 1 siya. So here guys, dalawa yung 1 natin. So pili ka lang ng isa for your pivot position. Now ang question natin dito guys is paano kung wala kang pivot na 1? Now for example 2 here, pwede mo siyang piliin as long as i-divide mo lahat by 2 para itong 2 dito guys maging 1 siya. Now, eto no need na kasi dalawa yung ating pivot position na pwedeng piliin. Marami tayong 1 dito. So dalawa. So ito, let's say, ito yung pivot position natin. First step for this calculator technique, pili ka ng pivot position. Then, we have this. Ito yung nadaanan niya in this row. And yung column na nadaanan niya is your fourth column. So 4 by 4 matrix tayo guys. So makakabuo tayo ng tatlong matrix. Namely, we have here. Let's say ito. So i-disregard na muna natin yung variable na dito na A. So let's say here, matrix. So small letter na lang. Matrix A equals, we have here, itong 3 by 3 na hindi niya nadaanan. So we have here 4. So negative 1, 2. We have here 10, 3, 0. And we have here 14, 2, and 4. So i-save natin siya guys. Then matrix B is we have here. So yung matrix B natin guys is itong 3 by 1. So 3 rows, 1 column. So ano yun? So we have here 3, 1, and 5. So wag natin i-include yung pivot position. So we have here a 3 by 1 matrix. So 3, 1, and 5. Then matrix C natin, lastly, yung eto, yung ating horizontal. So we have here a 1 by 3 matrix. So 1 row, 3 column. So we have here 2, 0, and 2. 2, 0, and 2. So this is a 1 by 3 matrix. So this is a 3 by 1. This is a 3 by 3 for matrix A. Now, sa calculator natin, i-store natin lahat yan. Matrix A, matrix B, and matrix C. So open natin yung ating calculator. So here guys, ang gagawin natin is i-clear muna natin siya. So shift 9, clear. So we have here 3, so all. Then, proceed tayo guys sa mode and matrix. For matrix, that is 6. Then, input natin yung matrix A. So, 1, we have here. So, ang matrix A natin is the 3 by 3 matrix. So, we have here 1. Then, we have 4. Input lang natin lahat guys. After you input the number, you press the equal sign. Okay, so yun guys. So wag mong pipindutin guys yung mode kasi pag napindot natin yung mode and magpili tayo ng ibang mode, automatic guys madidelete yung ating data. So you just press this AC. AC lang guys. Then for matrix, we have here shift and matrix which is 4. 4 tayo. Then you have here the data. So input muna natin yung B and C. So 2. Then proceed ka guys. So i-check natin guys yung matrix A para sigurado. We have here 4. Negative 1, 2, 10, 3, 0, and 14, 2, and 4. So, check yun. Then, we have here shift matrix. So, punta tayo ng data. Then, matrix B tayo guys. Input natin yung matrix B. So, matrix B is a 3 by 1 matrix. So, number 3. Then, input natin lahat. So, 3, 1, and 5. Okay? Now, after that, of course, AC ulit. Meron pa tayong matrix C. So, we have here shift matrix. So, 4. Then, data lang ulit guys. Data. So, wag mong i-input guys yung matrix C kasi wala pa tayong data. So, palagi lang data. So, 2. Then, matrix C. So, 3. Input natin. So, this is a 1 by 3. So, isang row, tatlong column. So, 1 by 3, nandoon siya sa, we have here. So, 1. Then, we have here 2, 0, and 2. Okay. Now, perform natin yung pivotal method, guys. So, same process of the pivotal method, but here, calculator ang gamit natin. So, AC lang lahat. Now, i-input natin to sa calcu. So, shift matrix, then determinant. So, 7. Determinant natin here is matrix A. So, shift matrix. So, matrix A, you have here 3. Minus, you have here shift matrix. Matrix B times matrix C. So, this is just the pivotal method but in a calculator technique way. So, shift muna tayo guys. So, shift matrix then matrix C. So, ito yung i-input natin. Determinant of matrix A minus matrix B times matrix C. So, equals natin guys. So, this is negative 28. Although, nagtali naman siya doon sa choices, it doesn't mean na yun agad yung answer natin. So, i-consider pa rin natin yung kanyang sign, wherein kung maalala nyo guys, sa pivotal method, may multiplier pa rin tayo, which is your sign convention. So, here, determinant niya is negative 28. So, i-take note natin yung guys. So, ang nakuha natin guys, ang determinant is negative 28. Now, kunin natin yung tamang sign niya. Although, okay na siya, nagtali na siya. So, this is the answer. So, kung ma-recall natin guys sa pivotal method, may multiplier tayong negative 1 raised 2. So, m plus n, wherein m is the position row of your pivot and n is the position column of your pivot. So, negative 28 times negative 1. Saan mo kinuha yung pivot natin? So, we have here, this is row 2. So, this is 2 plus. Saan mo kinuha yung pivot sa column? So, this is column 4. Now here, we have here negative 28. So, negative 1 raised to 6. Negative 28 times 1, which is negative 28. Therefore, ang ating determinant of this 4 by 4 matrix is negative 28. So, after you guys ma-input mo yung determinant of, so we have here, matrix A minus matrix B times matrix C, hindi pa yun yung answer. So, kunin mo yung tamang sign niya. Because, there are times na hindi yan negative. So, dito nagkataon lang because we have here A, even yung ating exponent or yung position ng pivot natin here. So, i-recall natin guys, ang M and N is the position of your pivot. So, pili ka ng pivot point, 1 dapat siya. Then, input mo yung mga matrix na natira. So, you just need to follow this procedure in your board examination in order for you to solve successfully determinant of a 4 by 4 matrix in the fastest way possible. So, useful to guys in your board exam. But in your academe, kung nag-aaral ka pa, advanced math, so hindi mo to pwedeng gamitin in your examination. So, pwedeng pang check, but hindi mo siya pwedeng gamitin as a solution. So, i-encourage ko kayo guys that you need to actually learn manual solution as well as calculator technique. So, pag board exam, Caltech tayo guys because this is the fastest way on solving this 4 by 4 matrix. So, proceed tayo guys sa ating next problem. So, ito guys, ang ating next problem here is actually a differential calculus. So, find y prime. Now, ito guys, kung y prime ang hinahanap natin, gagawin lang natin guys is trial and error. So, you can only do this if you have your choices. So, this is a reverse engineering process. So, punta tayo ng calculator guys. Now, sa calculator natin guys, of course, dapat naka-computation siya. So, i-clear natin lahat guys. So, shift 9, clear all. Then, ang gagawin natin guys is trial and error. Okay? Now here, pwede tayong gumamit ng derivative. So, we have here shift integral. So, itong baba ng alpha. So, derivative, input natin yung y. We have here x. So, alpha x. So, ln x. Parenthesis guys, we have here minus, we have here x. Now, input tayo guys ng kahit anong value dito as long as hindi siya mag-math error. Let's say 1.2. Okay? So, any number will do as long as hindi siya mag-math error. Now here, ang derivative nito using this definite derivative, meron tayong specific value. So, yung slope natin. So, we have here 0.18232. Now, i-shift store natin to guys. So, shift store, RCL. Then, let's say A lang. Nakastore na siya dyan guys sa A. So, pag enough natin, pag alpha A natin, alpha A, nandun na siya sa calculator. So, nakasave na yan guys. As long as hindi mo siya i-clear. Kahit i-off mo yung calcu, basta hindi mo siya clear, nandun pa rin nakasave yung value. Therefore, if you find the derivative of this and you use the value of 1.2, 0.1823 yung y prime niya. So kung ganon, i-substitute natin dito. Kung sino yung mag-satisfy if x is 1.2 and y prime niya is 0.18, siya yung tamang answer. So i-substitute lang natin guys. So, for example, for letter A, say ln. So ln x tayo, ln x. Then CALC lang, CALC. Ano yung in-input nating value kanina? So that is 1.2. Okay? Now here, 0.18232. So let's try if this is equal. So alpha, store natin, alpha v. Now, i-divide natin yung alpha a sa alpha b. Siyempre, kung 1 yung kalalabasan niya, equal siya. So alpha a divided by alpha b. So kung equal, siya yung answer guys. So this is the answer. So letter A yung ating answer here. So you're just finding the derivative, then apply ka ng value para makuha mo yung answer niya using trial and error. So this is our answer here. Letter A. Proceed tayo guys sa ating next sample problem. So the next problem natin guys is of course derivative pa rin siya. So same process tayo guys. Punta tayo ng calculator. Input natin siya. In our calculator, trial and error pa rin guys yung gagawin natin. So here, so derivative. So shift, derivative tayo guys. So this is logarithm. So sa loob ng logarithm, maglagay tayo ng dalawang parenthesis. Kasi guys, pag ganito, ang in-input natin, i-consider niyan na naka-square lahat. So here, ang naka-square lang actually is yung x squared plus 1, not the whole expression logarithm. So here, lagay ka ng dalawang parenthesis. Okay? Sa loob. Input natin, alpha x squared, so plus 1, then here, squared. So, tingnan natin ito guys, we have here, dalawa dapat ang parenthesis. So, make sure na tama yung parenthesis kasi magmamat error siya. And here, lagay tayo ng limit, let's say 1.2. So, kahit anong value guys, as long as hindi siya mag-math error. So, equal lang. Then after pressing the equal sign, we have here 0.854. So, i-shift store natin siya. So, shift store. Say A. Now, i-try natin guys ang choices natin. So, pag sinubstitute natin yung 1.2 here, so kahit alin dito, basta masatisfy, dapat 0.854 since na-derivative itong choices. Now, here, let's say, letter B tayo. So, 4x. So, 4 alpha x. So, logarithm. So, no need na. But here, pag may base ito, logarithm. Yan, yung may summation, baba ng on sign. And we have here 10. But actually, no need na kasi guys, syempre, pag logarithm, base 10 talaga yan. And we have here e. So, alpha, yung pi dito, e. Then, input natin yung denominator. So, that is alpha x squared plus 1. Then, CALC. Then, input natin. Of course, ito nakalagay na siya 1.2. So, 0.854. Then, ibig sabihin guys, ito yung answer natin, letter B. So, i-check pa rin natin. So, shift, store. So, letter B. I-divide natin yung A sa B kung equal, answer siya. Kasi siya yung derivative. So, ito guys, 1 talaga to because it is equal. Therefore, letter B is the answer. So this is your y prime. So basically what we have done here is kinuha natin yung derivative nito assuming na meron tayong y or x, x value. So shift integral. So dyan. So that is your y prime. Then after you input here a value y prime, dapat equal siya kung alin doon yung tamang answer sa choices. Therefore here, yung nagtali sa atin is letter B. Therefore letter B is the answer here. So letter B ang derivative niya. So let's try this, another sample problem. So find the slope of the curve when x is equal to 2. So yung function natin guys is 4 cosine x plus 2 sin x. So ito guys, napakadali lang, automatic calculator. Determine tayo ng derivative or slope of the curve. Derivative is a slope. So pag na-determine tayo ng slope guys, make sure kung trigonometric siya, dapat yung calculator natin is naka-radian mode. So shift mode, then radian. So number 4. Then input na natin siya guys. So we have here shift integral, then input the function. So 4 cosine, so alpha x. So we have here plus 2 sin x. Yun. After you input guys, change natin or i-check natin yung parentheses. Lagay natin yung specific value. We have here 2, as 2 is equal to x. Then we have here 4, negative 4.469. So in this next problem, guys, we have here given two vectors a and b. So for a, you have your 6i plus 3j minus k. And for vector b, you have 4i minus 5j plus 8k. So here, guys, ang hinahanap natin is the magnitude of 2 vector a minus vector b. So punta tayo, guys, ng calculator. Now here, after you open your calculator, shift clear muna natin siya, guys. So shift 9 clear. Then punta tayo ng mode. We have here. So mode tayo, guys. So mode. Then we have here vector. So number 8. Then input natin lahat ng value. So for vector A, you have here. So 1, so 3. 3 kasi because we have here 3 components. So I, J, K siya. So X, Y, and Z. So we have here 6, 3, and negative 1. Then AC lang, guys. AC, then shift vector. So we have here data. Data, we have here vector B. Input natin yung other vector. So siya din is a 3-dimensional. So we have here 1, and you have here 4, negative 5, and 8. So you perform this method. So 2 times vector A minus vector B. So AC, you have here 2 times, so vector, so shift 5. Then vector A minus vector B. Then equals lang natin, guys. We have here. So yung vector resultant natin, which is 2 vector A minus vector B, is 8, 11, and negative 10. So ito yung components niya. So 8, 11. So take note of that. 8, 11, and negative 10. So yung 2 times vector A minus vector B is 8, 11, negative 10. So this is I, so J, and K. So this is 10. Now, for the magnitude, we can use our Pythagorean theorem. So the magnitude of this vector, so 2 vector A minus vector B is equal to, so square root of, so we have here 8 squared plus 11 squared plus negative 10 squared. Then you just input here sa calculator. You have here, so the square root of 8 squared plus 11 squared. So plus, we have here negative 10 squared. So the magnitude is 16.88. So yung answer natin, guys, 16.88 is the magnitude of 2 vector A minus vector B. So let's proceed to our next problem. Ito, guys, dot and cross product. So recall natin, guys, sa physics, ang dot product is concerned sa work, and ang cross product is concerned sa torque moment. And here we are required to find A dot B and A cross B. So, input guys sa calculator, automatic. So, sa calculator, of course, naka-vector na siya guys because our previous problem is in vector. So, okay na yan. Dapat naka-vector siya. So, we have here, clear muna natin siya. Then, we have here mode and pag mode natin guys, vector. So, 8. So, we have here, vector A is, so, vector A tayo guys. So, 3 pa din. So, this is 2, 4, and 8. Okay? Then we have here for vector B, so shift 5. Data. Data tayo guys, then vector B. Vector B is, of course, 3-dimensional din siya. So we have here negative 2. Then we have here 1 and negative 4. So okay na yung data natin guys. Just perform these two operations. So for that product, we have here, so shift vector. So that product we have here 7. So we have vector A. So shift vector, vector A 3. So vector A dot vector B. So we have here 4. Equals lang natin guys. So pag that product, of course, scalar yung kalalabasan natin. That is negative 32. Now, kung cross product, yung multiply lang dito. Okay guys, yung X. Yung times, I mean. So this is, so ito guys, of course, pag ating cross product, we have here a vector pa rin. Pag scalar, you have here dot product. Of course, dot product is also called scalar product, and you have here cross product is also called a vector product. So yung kalalabasan niya, pag cross product, vector, pag dot product, scalar. That's why yung nakuha nating previous value is 32 or negative 32 I mean, and this, you have here negative 24i minus 8j plus 10k. So this is our cross product. So that's how you solve vectors using your calculator. So next problem tayo guys. So this problem is the application of calculator techniques to statics. So this is a static problem. So this is systems of forces. So the typical manual method of solving this is, of course, you should find those components. Now, if you're using your calculator, you don't need to do that. So here guys, meron tayong tatlong forces here and inassume natin na walang hook bending. So this is a statics problem. So ang hinahanap natin here is the magnitude of the resultant force assuming that there's no hook bending. So open natin guys yung calculator natin. Now of course, ang first step natin pag calculator technique guys is i-shift clear natin. Shift 9. Naka-clear na siya. So 3. So shift clear para malinis yung ating calculator. Then for systems of forces, you can use your mode complex guys. So mode complex tayo. Mode complex. So this is 2. Then input natin lahat ng forces. So 1,000. So input natin guys yung angles. Yung angle natin is with respect to your positive x-axis here. So ito yung reference line natin of the angle. So 1,000, angle natin is shift. Then ito. Itong parang may negative sign or yung may A dito. So pag nag-complex tayo, automatic na magiging angle pag nag-shift tayo. So shift here, then press this button. So angle natin is 30 degrees. 30. So add lang natin lahat for systems of forces. Now here, 1,500. Then angle natin, so shift, angle. Angle natin is from this terminal side. So ito yung side natin guys. So this is, kung ito ay 180 here. So ito guys ay 180. So ito ay, so this is 180 minus 20 degrees. So i-minus natin to. So yung angle natin here is 180 minus 20 degrees. So plus ito. You have here 750. Then, ang angle natin is, so the angle is ito, 180. So this is 180. So half revolution plus, this is 15 degrees. So 180 plus 15 degrees. So 180. Then equals lang natin. Then ang makuha natin dito guys, this is your x and y components of your resultant vector. So this is for x component and this is for y component. So i-store natin yung value natin guys. So shift store, let's say sa A. So automatic guys, nakastore na siya sa A. Then kunin lang natin guys yung magnitude using Pythagorean theorem, okay? So for the resultant, we have here, so the square root of your 4 sa x squared plus yung 4 sa y squared. This is Pythagorean theorem. So yung 4 sa x natin, so using this data guys, yung ating x here is negative 1267.96. Yung ating 4 sa y, this is the resultant sa y is 818.91. So input natin yun guys here. So yung nakuha nating x component kanina is negative 1267.96. So that is squared plus, so yung y component niya is 818.91. So mode computation tayo guys. So we have here square root of, so ang resultant natin guys is 1509.415 newtons. So this is our final answer guys. So you can use this method of calculator techniques in dealing with static force systems. So in this next problem guys, assume the three force vectors intersect at a single point. So F1 natin here is I plus 3j plus 4k. Force 2 is 2i plus 7j minus k. And force 3 is negative I plus 4j plus 2k. So ang hinanap natin dito guys is the magnitude of the resultant force. Now, punta tayo guys sa calculator natin. Then sa calcu of course, shift clear muna natin siya. Then after you clear guys, punta tayo ng mode vector. So 8. Then after, so input natin lahat ng vectors. So 1, we have here 3, 3-dimensional. Then we have here 1 for vector A, force 1. So 3. Then we have here 4. Then AC lang. Then shift vector 5. Then data. Save muna natin lahat ng data guys. So 2. So 1. 3-dimensional din siya. So 2. 7. We have here negative 1. Then for force 3. So sa C natin siya guys ilagay. So vector C. Then we have here shift vector, so data. Then vector C. Then 3-dimensional din siya. So we have here negative 1. We have here 4 and 2. Okay? Then, gawin natin guys is, pag inad natin siya lahat, of course, makukuha natin yung resultant force in terms of IJK. So hinanap natin guys is magnitude. Gagamit pa rin tayo ng Pythagorean theorem. So we have here, so shift vector, so vector A plus vector B. So vector addition is resultant force. So vector B plus vector C. 5. Equals lang natin guys. So this is our vector here. So yung resultant vector natin in terms of unit vectors is 2i plus 14j plus 5k. Now, kunin natin yung kanyang magnitude using Pythagorean theorem. So, 2, 14, and 5. So, punta tayo ng, we have here, so Pythagorean theorem. So, square root of, we have here 2 squared plus 14 squared plus 5 squared. So, that is 15. So, ang resultant nito guys is 15. So, this is scalar kung in terms of IJK or vector yung force, that is 2i plus 14j plus 5k. Now, ang ginawa natin guys, ginawa natin yung resultant using or the magnitude of the resultant force gamit yung Pythagorean theorem. So, that is how you solve the resultant force of a 3-force vector using your calculator technique. So, proceed tayo guys sa ating next sample problem. In this next problem guys, find the resultant of the following forces. So, F1 is 600 newtons, 40 degrees in the first quadrant. F sub 2 is 800 newtons, 20 degrees in the second quadrant. And force 3 is 200 newtons, 60 degrees. So that is in the fourth quadrant. Now guys, ang gagawin natin is of course, i-drawing muna natin yung figure para at least ma-determine natin when using calculator technique kung ano yung mga angles natin. So F1 is in the first quadrant, F sub 2 is the second quadrant, and F sub 3 is in the fourth quadrant. So this is the illustration of the problem. So hinanap natin guys is the resultant of these forces. Now proceed tayo guys sa ating calculator. Now sa calculator natin guys is same process. So gamitin natin yung process kanina of finding the resultant forces. So of course dapat tayo ay naka-shift clear. Shift clear muna natin guys yung calculator. Then punta tayo ng mode complex. Okay? So first input natin yung mga forces. So 600 newtons. Angle natin. So shift A. So angle is 40 degrees. So plus, we have here 800 Newton. So we have here angle. So ang ating angle here is nasa second quadrant. Second quadrant yung reference point niya. So this is angle. So ito 20 degrees. Kung ito is 180 yung half revolution. So this is 180 minus 20. So 180 minus 20 degrees. Then, so plus, we have this. So 200 newtons. Angle natin is, kung ang full revolution natin is 360, i-minus natin to guys, kung ito yung reference point natin. Or, you can also use this reference point, punta ka ng clockwise, gagawin mo lang na negative yung angle. So, negative 60 degrees. Pwedeng negative 60 or pwede din na 300. So, let's say 300 na lang para at least tama yung direction natin. So, papunta dito. Here. So, this is 300 degrees until here. So, i-minus natin sa 360 yung 60 dito. So, this is 300. Then, after you input that, automatic guys, equal natin siya. So, this is the components of your resultant force. So, kunin natin yung kanyang resultant gamit ang Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So, using Pythagorean theorem, guys, we have here, so this is negative 192. So, yung ating x component ng resultant is negative 192.127 squared. And we have here plus yung ating y component of your resultant force. So, 486.08. Then, square natin for Pythagorean theorem. So, this is our resultant force. So, this is 523 newtons. Okay? So, this is our resultant of these forces. Now, guys, paano natin mahanap yung angle? So, yung nakuha natin kanina, so arctan lang siya, guys. So, arctan. Arctangent. So, using this values, guys, so ang x natin is negative. Okay? Yung y natin is positive. So, nasa second quadrant yung ating resultant force. So, negative kasi yung x natin and positive yun. So, ito guys, negative yung x, positive yung y. Therefore, nasa second quadrant yung resultant force natin. Okay? Now, kunin natin yung angle using arctan. So, nasa second quadrant yung resultant force natin. So, this is our resultant force. So, this is negative 192.127 and ating y component is 486.08. Now, kunin natin yung angle dito using tangent. So, arctan. So, we have here opposite. Opposite natin is itong y. So, this is 486.08. So, huwag na natin, i-disregard muna natin guys yung kanyang sign convention. So, we have here 192.127. So, theta equals, so calculator natin guys. So, arctan. We have here, so gawin natin mode computation. So, mode computation, so arctan 486.08. So, this is your opposite over your adjacent side. So, you have here negative. So, i-disregard na natin yung sign conventions kasi na illustrate na naman natin siya. So, we have here 192. 68.127. So this is 68.43 degrees from the second quadrant siya. So, pag naglalagay tayo ng angle, guys, palagi natin lalagyan kung saan natin siya mineasure. So, 68.43 from the second quadrant, okay? From the second quadrant. So, from the second quadrant natin siya mineasure. So, kung kukunin mo siya, guys, from the first quadrant, of course, i-minus mo siya sa, or i-subtract mo siya sa 180 because this is, ito ay 68.43. So, ito yung answer natin. We have here 523. So, ang force natin, resultant force is 523 newtons at we have here 68.43 degrees from the second quadrant. So, proceed tayo guys sa ating next sample problem. So, ito guys, this is actually a differential equation application. So, ito guys, mas madali mo siyang masolve differential equation using your calculator technique. So, punta tayo guys sa calculator natin. So, sa calculator, of course, dapat naka-clear muna siya. So, shift, clear. So, 3 equals. Then, punta tayo ng mode stat. So, mode stat. So, 3. Then, we have here, for logarithm or exponential, gamitin natin guys yung 5. Now, ano ba yung x? X natin here guys is the time and y natin here is the amount of materials. So, sa time natin here, yung problem natin, radium decomposes at a rate proportional to the amount at any instant. So, in 100 years, 100 milligrams of radium decomposes to 96 milligrams. Now here, ilalagay natin dito guys, yung ating starting time, of course 0. Lagay natin guys 0. So at time 0, so yung x natin guys is the time and yung y natin here is the amount of the substance. So at time 0, sabi dito guys sa problem, in 100 years, 100 milligrams of radium. Ibig sabihin at time 0, 100 milligrams pa yung ating radium or ating radioactive material. So this is 100. So equals. Now, sabi dito, in 100 years. So, dito guys, 100. In 100 years, radium decomposes to 96 milligrams. So, 96 milligrams na lang yung remaining amount after 100 years. So, I recall guys, recall natin, this x here is the time and y is the amount of the substance. Okay? How many milligrams will be left after 200 years? So, ito guys, so, i-AC natin, na-input natin yung data. So, AC. Then, shift stat tayo, guys, because we are dealing with mode stat. So, shift stat. Then, regression tayo. So, hinahanap natin dito, guys, is how many milligrams. Therefore, the amount of the substance. So, Y yun, guys. So, Y. So, 5. Now, sa katabi niya, input natin, ano yung time kung saan natin hinahanap yung amount of that substance. So, that is 200 years. So, equals. So here guys, after 200 years, the amount of the substance present is 92.16 milligrams. So that's how you solve differential equation application in the simplest approach using your calculator. So applicable guys sa board examination when you're using this kind of calculator. So Casio 570 ES Plus or 911 ES Plus. So proceed tayo guys sa ating next problem. So here, the substance decomposes at a rate proportional to the amount present. So what is the half-life of the substance if 90% decomposes in 90 years? Mode guys, so mode stat. So mode, you have here mode stat, so 3. Then, exponential growth, you have here 5. Then, input natin. So, x natin is the time and y is the amount of the substance. Now here, ang sinasabi dito is, what is the half-life of the substance if 90% decomposes in 90 years? So here, at time 0, you have here, at time 0, of course, buo pa yung ating material. So that is 100% or 1. Okay? 1 siya. So in decimal natin siya guys. Now here, the substance is 90% in 90 years. So at time 90, the substance is, so at time 90 guys, so this is 90, not 900. The amount of the substance is 90%, so this is 0.9, okay? Now, kompleto na yung ating values. So ito guys, what is the half-life? Ang hinahanap natin dito guys is number of years or yung time. So x. So punta tayo ng, so AC lang. Then, after pressing AC, you have here shift, stat, then regression. So time yung hinahanap, therefore we have here x, so 4. Then, ilagay natin, half-life guys is half of the substance. So 1/2, so 0.5. So you have here, after 592 years, the amount of the substance is halved. So let's proceed guys sa ating next problem. So guys, same approach, radium decomposes at a rate proportional to the amount present. So if half of the original amount disappears after 1,000 years, what is the percentage loss in 100 years? So let's proceed sa calculator natin guys. And we have here, so mode stat na siya guys. So mode stat, then of course we have here exponential. So that is 5. Then time natin at time 0. Okay? At time 0 of course kumpleto pa yung material. So that is 100%. So in decimal. Now here, if half of the original amount disappears after 1,000 years. So 1,000. So after 1,000 years, nahati yung material. So 0.5 na lang to. So this is half-life. Then, kompleto na yung data natin. So, at least guys, at least 2 informations here or 2 data. So, 2 matching data. May time ka, may amount of substance, and another boundary condition. So, ito guys yung magiging boundary conditions natin when we are dealing with differential equations. So, itong mga sinosolve na problems natin dito guys, meron siyang manual solution dun sa aking mga previous videos. So, sinolve ko lang siya dito using only your calculator. So, for board examination purposes. Now here, since complete na yung data natin, so AC, after you press AC, you have here shift, stat. Then regression tayo. Now here, analyze natin. What is the percentage lost in 100 years? Y, so 5. Ano yung time natin? 100 years. So ilagay natin dito 100 sa katabi niya. Then equals lang. Then after pressing equal, so you have here 93.3% yung amount present. But ang question here is what is the percentage lost? Okay? What is the percentage lost? So ito yung amount present. So yung nawala natin guys is in terms of 100%. So 1 minus itong value. So yung nawala guys, naging 0.933 na lang yung material natin. So ilan yung nawalang material after 100 years. So, i-minus natin yung 0.933. So, here, this is, so i-multiply natin sa 100 para makuha natin yung percentage. So, this is approximately 6.7% of the materials is lost. So, pag nagagamit tayo guys ng calculator technique, we should also use our analysis. Kasi sometimes there are traps in the board exam. So, hindi naman pala yun yung hinahanap, yun yung na-shadean natin. So, analyze pa rin kung ano talaga yung hinahanap. So, dito hindi hinahanap kung ano yung percentage remaining. Hinahanap dito guys kung ano yung percentage lost of the radium after 100 years. So, that is 6.7%. So, this is our final answer. So, proceed tayo guys sa ating next problem. So ito guys, the population of a country doubles in 30 years, assuming that the rate of increase is proportional to the number of inhabitants. How many years will it be 6 times as much? So same approach natin guys here, exponential growth pa rin ang population growth when you're dealing with differential equation. So we have here mode stat pa rin. So mode stat then 5. Then here, the population of a country doubles in 30 years. Okay, so assuming that the rate of increase is proportional to the number of inhabitants, how many years will it be 6 times as much? The beginning, of course, that is a time 0. So yung ating population is kumpleto pa siya. Let's say 100%. So any value will do here. Now, nagdo-double siya in 30 years. So at 30 years, kung 1 yung population natin, assume ka ng value here guys, kahit anong value. So kung 1 yung initial population natin, nag-double siya in 30 years. Therefore, this is 2 times 2 na yung population. Okay? Now, complete na yung data natin. So, we have here shift stat. Shift stat then regression ulit. Then, hinanap natin dito, how many years will it be 6 times as much? Therefore, years ang hinahanap, time is x. So, this is 4. Now, input natin here, 6 times as much, so 6. Then we have here 77.55 years. So in 77.55 years, the population will be 6 times as much as your initial population. So that's how you solve radioactive and population growth problems using your calculator, guys. You can use this in the board exam. So you will save more time in dealing with problems like this if you only use your calculator. So of course, pag nakalimutan natin guys yung calculator technique, useful pa rin yung manual solution. So if you want to know or you study, kung napag-aralan niya, of course, mas maganda. Kung hindi nyo pa napag-aralan and nag-proceed kayo dito sa calculator technique, pag-aralan nyo pa rin guys yung ating manual solutions for this problem in my previous tutorial videos for differential equations. Okay? Now, proceed tayo guys sa ating next problem. Ito guys, Newton's law of cooling naman tayo. So we have here, Newton's law of cooling states that the time rate of change of temperature of an object varies as the difference in temperature between object and surroundings. So if an object cools from 80 degrees to 60 degrees in 20 minutes, find the temperature in 40 minutes if the surrounding temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Okay? Now here, let's get our calculator. Calculator agad tayo guys. Now here, mode stat ulit. So mode stat. Then same process guys. So 5. Exponential pa rin siya. So same denotion of variables here. Yung ating column X is time. Yung ating column Y will be the temperature. Now ito guys, dalawa kasi yung parts natin. So sa Newton's law of cooling, it's either cooling or heating. So paano malalaman kung heating or cooling? So ito guys, tandaan natin. If the temperature of the surrounding is less than the temperature of any instant sa ating problem. Here, 20 degrees yung temperature ng surrounding, pero yung other temperatures given are higher than that. Therefore, this is a cooling process. Of course. Now, kung ang temperature ng surroundings is greater than to any temperature sa given, that is heating. Okay guys? Now here, X column natin is time. So here, if an object cools from 80 degrees to 60 degrees in 20 minutes, sabi dito sa problem. Talagay natin dito guys, so 80 degrees. So ating initial temperature is 80 degrees. So at time 0, so you have here 80 degrees. So here guys, yung Y natin is magiging temperature difference. So we have here 80 minus ambient or yung surrounding temperature which is 20 degrees equals lang. Then, after 20 minutes, naging 60 degrees siya. So ito guys, of course, change in temperature. So 60 degrees, palagi nating ima-minus yung surrounding temperature. Kasi ito guys, change of temperature yung nandito sa Y column. So 60 degrees minus 20 degrees equals. So yun guys, kompleto yung data natin dito. Okay? Now, let's proceed to our answer. So, find the temperature in 40 minutes. Okay? So, we have here shifts stat. Stat then, regression pa rin. Hinahanap natin is temperature. So, that is in Y. So, we have here 5. Then, 40 minutes. So, this is the change in temperature. So, meaning, i-add natin yung so, change of temperature siya, guys. So, therefore, ito, hindi pa siya yung answer, guys, no? This is a trap. Kung may 26.67, wag niyong pipiliin yan. Kasi this is the change. Change siya. So, we have here T minus, we have here 20 degrees na given 26.67 degrees C. Of course, T is equal to, you have here 26.67 degrees C, so plus. So, add tayo ng 20 degrees both sides. So, plus 20 degrees C. So, ang temperature natin is 46.3 Proximity 7 degrees C. So this is your answer. So yung nakuha natin sa calculator technique guys, that is your change in temperature. Okay? So ang true temperature natin is, since na-change natin here, ito yung nakuha natin, then we have this change of temperature is equal to yung nakuha sa Caltech, then i-transpose natin yung temperature of the surrounding, then kuha natin yung answer. Final answer natin guys is 46.7 degrees Celsius. Now let's proceed to our next problem. So calculator technique guys, importante na alam natin yung process. As long as you know the process, you can solve problems easily. So it will actually save you a lot of time when dealing with the board examination. So here guys, last problem yata ito. So you have here, it takes 15 minutes for an object to warm up from 10 degrees C to 20 degrees C in room whose temperature is 30 degrees C. So assuming Newton's law of cooling, how long would it take to warm up from 20 degrees C to 25 degrees C? So kahit hindi naman sabihin na warming up, titingnan lang natin guys yung ating temperature ng surrounding. Ito yung temperature ng surrounding natin guys. So room temperature 30 degrees. So higher siya doon sa lahat ng given sa problem. Therefore, this is a heating process. Now, punta tayo sa calculator. So sa calculator natin, mode stat pa rin guys. Mode stat. Then, we have here 5. Exponential pa rin siya. So it takes 15 minutes for an object to warm up from 10 degrees C to 20 degrees C. Time 0, you have here 10 degrees C. So yung mauuna natin guys is temperature ng surrounding. So temperature ng surrounding minus yung given temperature natin at initial. So that is 10 degrees C. So at time 15 minutes, naging 20 degrees siya. So nag-warm up. So at time 15, 20 degrees C. So 30, palaging ma-minus because this Y is the change of temperature. So 30 minus 20. So ang question is, how long would it take to warm up from 20 degrees C to 25 degrees C? So shift, so off muna natin AC, so you have your shift stat. Then, hinahanap natin, how long would it take? So that is your time. So sa X tayo guys. So X, so 4. So that is, kunin mo natin yung pang 25. So this is 30 minus 25. So that is 30 minutes. That is letter A. So next problem tayo guys. Ito, mayroon pa palang last problem here. So last problem na siya. So at 1 p.m. the temperature of the tank is 20 degrees Fahrenheit. At 1:30 p.m. its temperature is 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Assume that surrounding temperature is maintained at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So ang question for letter A is, what is the temperature at 2 p.m.? Letter B, at what time will the temperature be 100 degrees Fahrenheit? Assume Newton's law of cooling. So for letter A, automatic guys, calculator lang muna tayo. So calculator. So open your calculator then. So you have here, at 1 p.m. the temperature of the tank is, water in the tank is 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So you have here at time 0. So mode stat muna tayo guys. So mode stat, so 3. Then 5. So same time here, change in temperature, so Y. So at time 0, so tingnan natin yung surrounding temperature 80. So less than sa kahit anong temperature sa problem. This is a cooling process. So at time 0, here at time 0, you have here 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So 200 minus 80 surrounding temp. Then we have here at 1:30. So that is after 1 p.m. 30 minutes after. So at time 30 minutes. Okay, at time 30 minutes, you have here 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So 160, change of temp. So minus surrounding temp, 80. Now, hinanap natin, what is the temperature at 2 p.m.? So, that is after 60 minutes. So, after from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. is 60 minutes. So, we have here, AC muna tayo guys, then shift, stat, then regression. So, hinanap natin is, what is the temperature at 2 p.m.? Then, yan is 5. So at 2 p.m. that is after 60 minutes from 1 p.m. equals. So that is 53 yung ating change of temp. So i-add natin yung paras na method na ginamit natin kanina. Change of temp ito, hindi siya yung actual temp. So this is a change of temperature. So i-add natin yung surrounding temp if we're dealing with cooling process. So plus, surrounding temp natin is 80. So plus 80. So ang answer natin here is 133.33 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So what time? Ano yung time natin? So it's either, so pwedeng letter C or D, pero hindi pa natin alam because we don't know the time yet. So kunin natin yung time when the temperature is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So shift, regression. So shift stat, regression tayo guys. So 5. Hinahanap natin is the time. So ang time natin is X. So 4. Then sa 4, change of temp tayo. So we have here 100 minus surrounding temp. So 80. So yung Y natin guys, always remember that it is actually a change of temperature. So equals. So after 132.57 minutes, okay? So i-divide natin sa 60. Tingnan natin kung ilang hours siya. So this is 2.2 hours. Therefore, after 2 hours and after 2.2 hours here. So that is around 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. Then yung decimal natin na 0.2. So minusan natin ng 2 para makuha natin yung decimal. Then ito yung fraction niya of 60 minutes. So i-multiply natin sa 60 minutes kung ilang minutes siya. Yung fraction of 0.209 of an hour. So that is 12 minutes. So ang answer natin guys is letter C. So that's all for today's video guys. So this is just the part 2 of our calculator techniques. So marami pa akong ituturo sa inyo guys that are very useful sa board exam ninyo para mapasa nyo siya and makatulong din mag-save ng time when you are dealing with problems, especially in the mathematics. Okay? So see you in my next video guys. Thank you for subscribing on this channel guys. If you are not yet a subscriber of this channel, please do click the subscribe button and the notification bell for more updates.